Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lefty from 643 Productions coming at you here with a Black Ops Search and Destroy gameplay commentary. As you can see, I have the gold M14. This is on Hanoi, and this is one of, like I said, the one of many M14 gameplays I have. I really enjoy using the gun. A few of my buddies, Jimmy Brooks and Doug Perkins and Ernest Lee, especially, they say that they wouldn't warlord a weapon with a red dot. You wouldn't, for a second attachment, you wouldn't run warlord just to get an extra sight because these sights are purely cosmetic. But my reasoning is that with the M14 iron sights being as big and obstructive as they are, I would rather have the red dot sight, which is less obtrusive or less obstructive in terms of what you're seeing on the camera when you ADS. But that's my opinion. I seem to do pretty well with it, but again, Warlord is one of those things where you notice and you get upset when you don't have Sleight of Hand Pro, when you have to reload and it's taking so long and you get shot or something like that. But anyway, I've got to record this commentary as I sit here recording this. It's 12:57 p.m. and the open lobby that I'm talking about, or hopefully going to be able to hold, and hopefully a lot of you show up, is about to start in about 2 hours. Maybe 2.5 hours, 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, I'm going to try to get this video up before that. I'm going to try my best. Hopefully this is the second take, so hopefully there aren't any more takes to recording, and then I can render, and then I can upload, and then it will be up for about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, before the open lobby begins. But if you're watching this, it should be right around the time the open lobby begins. June 27th, starting from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, probably going to run an hour or two, a few hours, but it's not going to extend past, I would say, 6 or 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're watching this video past 6 or 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, please don't send me a message. Please don't ask me about the open lobby. It's over. It's done with. I'll have another one hopefully soon. But anyway, here's the story on the open lobby real quick before I get to what I want to talk about. I'm going to have game setups and game modes already there, so you don't have to worry about setting up your classes or being a right level to get the sniper rifle. I am going to enable recording so that I can go back into theater mode after the open lobby is done. If I remember somebody got a sick kill feed or something like that, and I'll put together a few clips, maybe just for a commentary, not like a montage thing because I'm not an editor. It's just bad. Oh god, and I thought about my ventures at trying to edit, and oh man, that's bad. Bad karma, bad medicine. But that's what I'm going to do, 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, at starting around 3:30 p.m. Let's call it 3:30 for clarity's sake. Message Lefty643. That's my gamer tag. You can see it in all my videos. It's Lefty643. Message me for an invite. Just say, hey, invite. I am going to try to refresh the lobby periodically. That doesn't mean you'll have a set number of games with me. You could have a lot of games, could have a few, but I'm going to try to refresh the lobby periodically. So if I ask you to leave, if I ask everybody to say, hey, can you back out, please do so without hesitation, because I just want to get more people in without restarting the lobby, but I might have to resort to that. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, open lobby, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll have a great time. I always do, and I hope you guys always do as well. Great news today. Came out today that the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, in Brown versus EMA, it used to be Schwarzenegger versus EMA, in Brown versus EMA, the case that was appearing before the Supreme Court, the state of California was challenging a federal court ruling that their law that's selling, distributors selling mature rated or some kind of rated violent video games to minors is a crime. They were challenging a ruling that was an unconstitutional law. Now, this case has been before the Supreme Court. I've known about it for a while, and I've had my eye on it. I haven't really talked with you guys about it, I don't think, but this is huge because the ruling came down today. It was a 7-2 decision. But before we talk about what happened, let me give you a little bit of the background. Under this law, there would be a rating system, a concrete rating system put in place. Yes, there is a rating system now, but you have to understand that rating system is self-imposed. There is no law, and I know a lot of you say, oh, it's like, oh, well, they'll get in trouble if they sell me the game. No, they really won't, because all these ratings, all these you won't sell to minors, this rated game, those are all self-imposed by the industry. Yes, the the store that some guy works at might fine him or might dock his pay if they catch him doing it. But that's all up to them. That is not imposed by any state, by any legislation, by anything. So the state of California wanted to implement this law that would say it will be a crime to virtually eliminate it. To virtually eliminate minors being able to go to a game store and get their hands on violent games. Now, would this eliminate minors getting violent video games? No, not necessarily. Of course not, and it never will. But the worry was that video game companies, video game developers, would be less likely to want to make a game that they know would be rated violent by this system, that would necessitate being 18 years old to buy it. They would shy away from that. And that would couch their content just because, and they are worried, or people were worried, that video game makers would eventually couch their content to fit the laws so that they wouldn't limit their market size. Even if it was an erroneous thought that people under 18 would have a hard time getting their hands on an over 18 game, but still, that was the worry coming from consumers, and I think it was a very valid worry. However, today in a 7-2 decision, the Supreme Court upheld the federal court. I think it was an appeals court decision. No, it was appeals court, federal court, whatever. Anyway, upheld a lower court decision. I'm not a law student. Ask Steve Schwinn. I should have him on for a dual com to talk about this. But he upheld the decision by the lower court that the law is unconstitutional. Now, I have a few quotes for you guys here because I'm really into this. This is from the decision. This is from the official decision filed by the Supreme Court. Quote, "The act does not comport with the First Amendment. Video games qualify for First Amendment protection. Like protected books, plays, and movies, they communicate ideas through familiar literary devices and features distinctive to the medium. And the basic principles of freedom of speech do not vary with a new and different communication medium." That was basically the Supreme Court saying, look, video games, and we're talking about the whole of video games here, not necessarily multiplayer aspects, but video games are a form of speech. And they are a form, more so than that, they are a form of protected speech, like books, like movies, like these things. California was trying to treat video games as pornography, because pornography has been viewed or labeled or decided to be lewd and sort of visceral in nature, so that it has to be controlled. Even though it is, quote, expressing of opinion and ideas, it is visceral in nature when it applies to interacting with younger humans, and that needs to be controlled. The Supreme Court said that California does not have did not present enough evidence to show that the studies that we're talking about linking children playing violent video games to being aggressive, there wasn't enough evidence. So basically the Supreme Court is saying, no, video games are protected speech, and they will continue to be protected speech. And just because the medium changes, just because video games are new and different, doesn't mean that that speech is now unprotected. So that's a great decision by the Supreme Court. I'm really happy about it, and really my fears and worries are assuaged by this, so we don't really have to worry about it. So if you want to talk more about this, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter or something. I got to get out of here, guys. That's my time. Remember, open lobby 3 to 4, starting 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time today, and then extending on for a few hours past 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't do it. Don't message me. The lobby will be over. But thank you for joining. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. Just go to twitter.com/lefty643. Once again, that's twitter.com/lefty643. Man, this outro was a train wreck. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I am out.